This video is sponsored by the Tennessee Department of Agriculture Ag-Tag Grant Program and the University of Tennessee at Martin. Minibatch biodiesel production procedure. Before beginning any experiment, it is critical to follow proper safety procedures. Locate emergency eye wash and shower stations prior to beginning the experiment. Locate fire extinguishers and make sure they have current inspection tags. Read all material data safety sheets as well as safety labels on any other materials being used in the experiment. For this experiment, MSDS sheets for methanol, sodium hydroxide, and potassium hydroxide should be reviewed prior to the start of the experiment. These are dangerous and poisonous chemicals, and therefore the utmost care should be given to safety. Methanol is a poison that can be absorbed through your skin and has the potential to be inhaled. Methanol can cause blindness or death and is as flammable as gasoline. Cartridge respirators do not work with methanol. Sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide are from the caustic soda family of chemicals and can cause severe burns and death. All individuals involved in the experiment should wear protective gear that protects the eyes, hands, and one's body. Have running water readily available to wash off any splashes immediately. Do not proceed without proper protective gear and trained supervisors. After making sure all safety precautions are in place, the biodiesel making process can begin. The first step in creating biodiesel is to obtain vegetable oil for conversion. This can be either filtered waste vegetable oil or virgin cooking oil. If using waste vegetable oil, make sure that it has been filtered and is free of particulates. Measure 1 liter of waste vegetable oil or virgin cooking oil in a clear glass or plastic mixing container that has a minimum capacity of 1.5 liters. Preheat the oil to 48.9 degrees centigrade or 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This step ensures that the chemical reaction, known as transesterification, will be complete. Review the titration procedure thoroughly and make sure that all necessary supplies for the titration procedure are readily available. You may wish to transfer the oil to a mixing vessel. Using a 1 milliliter disposable pipette, disperse 1 milliliter of preheated oil into paper cup number 1. Measure 10 milliliters of methanol using a graduated cylinder and pour it into the paper cup that contains the 1 milliliter of oil from the previous step. Using the disposable 1 milliliter pipette, agitate the mixture by squeezing the pipette repeatedly until the methanol and oil are mixed thoroughly. When they are mixed properly, the mixture should have a milky white color and no globules of oil are visible. Place about 10 milliliters of titration solution, which is 0.01% sodium hydroxide solution made by mixing 1 gram of pure sodium hydroxide with 1 liter of distilled water into paper cup number 2. Using a pH testing kit, place 3 drops of the pH indicator solution into the oil methanol mixture that is in paper cup number 1. Stir with a clean stirring rod. The mixture will usually turn orange, indicating an acidic initial pH. This is assuming that you're using the Phyhydrion 1-drop indicator solution, catalog number UI100. From Micro Essential Laboratory Incorporated, 4224 Avenue H, Brooklyn, New York, 11210. Using a 5 milliliter pipette, withdraw 5 milliliters of the titration solution from paper cup number 2. Slowly add the titration solution to the oil methanol mixture in paper cup number 1 until the solution changes from an orange to a blue-green color. The blue-green color with our kit indicates that the pH is about 9 or slightly basic. Once the mixture has been titrated to a pH of 9, record the quantity of sodium hydroxide which has been dispersed from the 5 ml pipette. Now add 3.5 to the quantity pipetted during the titration. For example, if the sample required 1.6 milliliters of sodium hydroxide solution for titration, one would need to add 1.6 to 3.5, yielding 5.1 grams of sodium hydroxide in crystalline form to be added to the 200 milliliters of methanol. Measure the amount of sodium hydroxide as determined in step 12 and mix with 200 milliliters of methanol, being careful not to breathe in any vapors from the methanol. This mixture creates a methoxide solution necessary for transesterification. Transesterification is the process that breaks the fatty acid chains, or biodiesel, from the triglyceride molecule backbone. Using a hand blender, slowly mix 200 milliliters of methoxide with 1 liter of oil. For proper transesterification, the contents should be stirred for 15 minutes or more. After removing the blender or mixer, allow the biodiesel solution to set overnight. After settling, one should see a distinct separation line between the biodiesel and the glycerol. Glycerol is the dark substance at the bottom of the mixing container. Pour off or decant the biodiesel, being careful not to pour any of the glycerol into the receiving container. Properly dispose of the glycerol. Mix the biodiesel with about 200 milliliters of regular tap water and mix very gently. If the water and biodiesel are mixed too vigorously, soap may be created rather than biodiesel. Allow the water biodiesel mixture to separate. This may take a few hours. The wash water will be at the bottom of the container and the biodiesel will be at the top. Using a 5 milliliter pipette, withdraw 4 milliliters of wash water from the bottom of the container. Check the pH of the wash water according to the instructions in the pH kit. In this case, 1 drop of pH indicator for 4 milliliters of solution. The first sample of wash water will probably have a pH of 10 or 11, which is caustic. Decant the biodiesel into another container and properly dispose of the wash water solution. Another method one may use to mix biodiesel and wash water is to use air bubbles to carry the water from the bottom of the container up through the biodiesel. As the water descends to the bottom, the biodiesel will be gently washed. In order to implement this procedure, one can use fish aquarium oxygenators and plastic tubing. Repeat steps 20 through 25 until the wash water has a pH near 7 or neutral. Filter the biodiesel through a standard diesel fuel filter before placing it in the fuel tank of any diesel-powered device.